how's everybody doing? Good. Well, since this is our last session, I kind of just want to get what everybody has felt like this has been helpful to them, or if it has been helpful to them, and what we can do in the future to help other people like you all. But I want to start by going around the room, and I want you to tell me, on a scale of 1 to 10, where you were at the beginning compared to where you were now. Kelsey, you go ahead and start.
I was probably a 2 or a 3 at the beginning, just because I was a lot more stressed and I didn't know how to manage my time, and I was so bad at procrastinating. I feel like just now I'm probably at an 8 or a 9, because I wouldn't say I'm a full 10, because I still don't feel like I'm all the way there yet, but now I know what I have to do to get all the way there, so I think that's probably where I'm at.
Good.
I feel like when we started, I was probably maybe a 1, because I just didn't want to do any of my work, and with working and going to school, it was hard to manage both of them. But now I feel like I'm like Kelsey, more at an 8 or a 9, because now I know I need to set out that time. My boss has made arrangements with my schedule so I can do my work. And if I just keep on that track, I think I will get to a 10.
I would say I was probably at like a 3 when we started, and now I would say that I'm probably at an 8.5, Like, I've been able to talk to my parents, and we've talked about the days specifically that I'm going to watch my brother, and then the days that I'm going to have time to do my homework when I come back home from work and school. So.
Okay, good. Debbie?
I'd say when we started, I was probably about like a 2 or 3. I'd say I'm probably around an 8 now. I've learned to manage my time better and not procrastinate. And I've learned not to just make everything a bigger deal than what it was and put more stress on myself. And I've worked around my schedule at work to where I have more time to do homework and study. So that's helped me a lot.
I think starting out, I was probably a 3. But now, I think it's a 9, because, I don't know, I'm better at time management, I'm still working on it, and as far as really putting stress on myself, working on that more, but I've become much better with time management, so I'd say about a 9.
Good. Last week we talked about our situations and what was causing us the most stress. Do you guys feel like y'all made some progress in the positive direction in those situations?
Yeah.
It's good to know where your stress is originating from. It's easier to kind of help it, you know where it comes from. So.
Yeah, and once you get that resolved, everything just kind of tend to flow out better and go more smoother and less stressful.
Do y'all think that talking about it and getting in this group helped, or do you think that it was better just to kind of keep it within yourself, or what y'all think?
I think it helped because, knowing that somebody else has the same situation going on, knowing maybe how they deal with the time management, having a job in school, and then maybe, that helped me.
Yeah, it's just nice to know that other people are in the same situation as you.
Yeah, and learning and seeing people's their perspectives on how they do things and how they see things and what they do has helped incorporate me how I do things. I've learned some stuff from everybody that I've used and it's helped me.
Good.
So
Yeah, I think it's been nice to talk about it and see that other people have the same issues that I have. School and work.
Okay, well, with this being our last session, and we're not going to be meeting anymore, but I want you all to know that there's other resources that you can go to through your school, and now that you all, I feel, have built more trust with one another, right? You all can go to one another when you feel like you're overwhelmed, or you feel like you have too much on your plate, but I want to ask what you feel like if you could go back to the beginning and you could see yourself what you would tell someone in that same position, what would you tell them?
I'd probably just tell them not to worry about things so much and not to put everything off until the last minute and then stress about it so much. Just to manage your time better and actually like make a plan of when you're gonna do your homework and when you're gonna work and stuff like that.
I would say that if you decide to get a job with going to school, know that you're having so much work, before you even get that job, tell your prospective employer, be like, I'm going to school, it's more important, I will need the time to sit out to do my homework. Because I think that's a big thing that, like, with my job, even I told my prospective employer, and he said, okay, it didn't affect it, or he done the exact opposite of what he said he was going to do. So, but then after I talked to him and got it all figured out, it works, and not to procrastinate so much, take time, plan out to do your work.
I think that it would just be important to tell the people that are around you kind of what you need to start with, because if I had talked to my parents sooner, then I wouldn't have had nearly as many problems with my stress and stuff.
I think I would tell them to not worry too much about the little things and to take time out for themselves to like take care of themselves, like self-care, like go out with your friends, go out to dinner, like make time for you to just go out and have fun and not have to think about school or work all the time.
I think like if they're gonna do schoolwork, like we've been doing, then they need to know that ways to deal with that stress, because you're gonna have it no matter what. If you try to do well at your job and do well at classes, you're gonna have that stress. So to manage that, try to debrief that, like Debbie said, do stuff for your own time and stuff, and then manage better the stress that you put on yourself. Just not stress as much, like Kelsey said and stuff. I think that's a big thing.
That's good. I want you all to think about, like, in your futures, because you all are all getting ready to graduate, right? Right, so it won't be school that's the main stress anymore. So what are some of your fears in leaving the group and in graduating and, like, kind of balancing not only school when you graduate, but your, like, the next phase of your life? Like, what do you feel is the most fearful thing that you're scared of when you're leaving the group?
I would probably have to say, I guess if I start a family, balancing family with work. So I feel like family is even more important than education. Which your education is important, but So, and then you need that job to support your family. Mm-hmm. So I feel like that, when that comes the time, but hopefully by then I'll have some, skills to help with that. But that's a fear, I guess, other things like that.
I guess for us, I would be like finding a job. I mean, we're in a bad economy, so finding a job to suit what I want to do and then make a career out of it, that kind of scares me.
So do you feel like the things that you learned here will help you better in that process?
I think so, yeah.
Well, I don't think that I really thought much about the future right now, because I'm just really excited about not having to go to school anymore. But I haven't really been thinking about what I'm gonna do. So, but I guess I'm just fearful that I'm gonna be really stressed out when I'm trying to pick the place that I want to live and stuff. Like, I don't know if I'm gonna stay with my parents for forever or live near them. So that would probably be a big stress pretty soon in my life.
And how do you think you'll manage it?
I don't know. I'll probably avoid it for a while.
Well, by the skills we've learned in this group, Kyle, I hope that you don't ignore it and that you face it and apply the things that you've learned.
Yeah, I'll try and do that.
Okay, good.
I think I'm like Debbie, that just the fear of finding a job once we do get out, once it's time, and that of managing my relationships when I am done, like with work and making sure I'm always there for the people that need me and have time for them, that kind of thing.
So you're more worried about balancing your
new job and just what my future actually holds. It's not, I'm not really worried about like stuff not happening, just more worried about what's going to happen, and then I don't know what it is.
Right. So you would say that yours is more of the unseen things that you don't have any control over.
Right.
Well, that's really good, and I appreciate all of you, and I think you all have really, really grown, and your skills that you've learned, I hope you will take into everyday situations and everyday life, and I think you all have done really well. Is there anything that y'all want to say? Anything?
Thanks for being a good leader.
Okay, well, that's it. I really enjoyed being your leader.